Hello everyone. It's great to see you again in today's video. In the cozy little house of the old couple, the light filtered through the soft yellow curtains. The doctor was examining Tu Tien, who was lying weakly on the bed. Everyone was silent. Worry was evident on the faces of Jack and the old couple sitting next to him. After checking Tu Tien's health, the female doctor went outside to sit at the table and called the family to discuss the patient's health situation. Jack sat down on the chair with a worried face and asked the doctor, "Doctor, how is her condition? Is the baby in her belly okay?" The female doctor did not rush to answer Jack, but took out Tu Tien's medical records from the hospital to look at. After reading Tu Tien's medical record, the female doctor closed the book, looked up, smiled slightly to calm everyone down, and then spoke gently. "You and everyone can rest assured. Both mother and fetus are stable. However, Tu Tien's health is still weak and needs absolute rest. Avoid strong emotions or moving around too much, otherwise it will affect the baby." Hearing that, Jack breathed a sigh of relief. His shoulders seemed to be somewhat relieved of the anxiety in his heart. After talking to everyone, the female doctor also stood up to leave. Before leaving, she carefully instructed everyone to pay attention to taking care of Tu Tien. If they saw any unusual signs, they had to take her to see a doctor immediately. Jack also stood up to see the female doctor off. Seeing the doctor leave, he returned to the bed where Tu Tien was resting. He sat down next to her and held Tu Tien's small hand, his eyes filled with love and gratitude. Jack did not take his eyes off Tu Tien. His hands held tightly, as if he wanted to give her some strength. In his heart, he silently promised to take good care of her, so that both mother and child could safely overcome this difficult time. Jack went out to the table and sat next to the old couple. He thanked them for taking his girlfriend to the hospital in time and for creating the best conditions for her to receive treatment. The couple told Jack not to be polite. They also took care of Tu Tien and treated her like their own daughter. Then Jack asked them about the day Tu Tien had an accident. He wanted them to tell him everything. The woman immediately told Jack about that day. She said that day, she and her husband were sitting in the car to go to work and were going to a bend when Tu Tien came out very quickly. Their car did not have time to react and crashed into Tu Tien. They got out of the car and saw her lying on the road with a lot of blood on her head. Her grandparents rushed to take her to the emergency room. Because Tu Tien's phone was broken, she could not contact her family. Her husband had taken her phone to be repaired, and when he had time, he would go get it. Hearing this, Jack was also very grateful to the old couple for saving his girlfriend in time. Since everything had happened, there was no need to mention it again. The important thing now was to take care of Tu Tien so that she could quickly recover and regain her memory. Jack asked the old couple for permission to let Tu Tien stay at their house for a while so that she could fully recover from her illness. Then he would pick her up later. The old couple immediately agreed. They considered Tu Tien as their daughter, so Jack could rest assured that she would stay here and receive good treatment. Jack was extremely grateful for the kindness of the old couple. Even though they were strangers, they were still willing to help enthusiastically. After talking, the old couple invited Jack to stay and have dinner with them. She told Jack to stay with Tu Tien while the two of them went down to the kitchen to cook. Jack walked closer to Tu Tien, gently held her hand and silently thanked God for blessing Tu Tien and her child to be safe. He told himself that he had to take good care of her so that she could recover quickly. Suddenly, Jack's phone rang. It was his mother calling. She was worried about Tu Tien's condition and had called to ask. Jack informed his mother that he had found Tu Tien. He was currently with her, but she was still very weak and needed to rest and receive treatment. His mother asked where she was so she could come. Jack said that the two of them were now staying at an old couple's house in a very far away place. Then he reassured his mother to rest assured and wait for Tu Tien to recover. Then he would take her home. Jack also told his mother the good news that Tu Tien was pregnant. Hearing this, His mother was very happy and immediately told her son to remember to take good care of her and remember to bring delicious food to nourish Tu Tien. Jack obeyed his mother and then hung up. Jack went down to the kitchen where the old couple was standing. He told them he would go to the supermarket to buy some food to cook for everyone. His grandparents stayed home to keep an eye on Tu Tien and wait for him to come home. They told Jack to be careful and come home early. Jack entered the supermarket with a busy look, but his eyes shone with special concern. He needed to take the green basket and walk along the shelves, carefully choosing the freshest food items. In the frozen area, Jack opened each drawer, carefully looking at the label and expiration date of each type of meat before putting it in the basket. He stopped longer at the vegetable counter, choosing each bunch of green vegetables, each chili, carrot, and red tomato. When he reached the fruit counter, Jack smiled slightly, cherished the plump red apples, and picked a few of the most beautiful ones. He didn't buy much, only choosing the best: fresh meat, clean vegetables, sweet fruits, because he only thought about Tu Tien. After days of her being sick and tired, Jack wanted to cook her a delicious meal with his own hands, both to nourish her and the baby in her belly, and to show his love and silent care. Each dish he chose contained the thoughtfulness, gentleness, and deep affection that he had for the girl he loved. At this time, at the farm, Jack's mother and Uncle Dung also took the opportunity to go to the farm while Jack and Tu Tien were not at home. They replaced them to check the progress of the project. The two were very surprised because the house that Jack designed was very spacious and comfortable. The shape of the house was almost completed next to the kitchen that Jack designed so that Tu Tien could comfortably cook according to her preferences. The two of them visited the entire house together, and then they went inside to meet the carpenter to ask about the progress of the project. The two of them listened to the carpenter and nodded in delight at Jack's designs. He was indeed worthy of being a talented young architect. Jack went shopping and arrived at the old couple's house. He quickly brought the groceries into the kitchen. Then he took out all the things he had just bought to prepare to cook rice. Seeing that, the old lady also came in to help him. She saw him buy a lot of things and immediately asked why he bought so many things. Jack smiled and said, "I'll buy some things to cook porridge for Tu Tien and some things to cook for lunch for everyone to eat together." The old lady happily helped him prepare the food to cook. Jack stood in the cozy kitchen, still wearing his white shirt and tie, attentively cooking a pot of bird porridge to nourish Tu Tien. The hot steam rose up, spreading the sweet aroma of bird meat mixed with the stewed rice. He carefully tasted it, stirred the porridge until it was cooked evenly, then gently, his eyes shining with a gentle expression mixed with worry. Jack's every movement was meticulous and sincere, as if putting all his love into the porridge, hoping Tu Tien would soon recover after the tiring days. At this time, Tu Tien had just woken up from a long sleep. She opened her eyes, but her head still hurt a lot. Tu Tien raised her hand to look at the engagement ring she was wearing, trying to remember who she was, but she still couldn't remember anything. Due to the after effects of the accident, her memory had not yet recovered, which only made her head ache even more. At the same time, Jack also brought a bowl of hot bird porridge that he had just cooked up for Tu Tien. He saw that she was awake, so he helped her up and told her to get up and eat the porridge he had just cooked while it was hot so she would get well soon. Then he would take her home. Jack picked up the bowl of porridge, scooped a small spoonful, then blew on it gently to cool it down before bringing it to Tu Tien's mouth to feed her. But she was still a bit hesitant. Tu Tien told Jack to just give her the bowl of porridge so she could eat it herself. She said because right now she can't remember anything, so she still doesn't know who you are and whether you are her future husband or not, so she still can't adapt right away. Tu Tien hoped Jack would sympathize with her current situation. Hearing Tu Tien say that, Jack also understood her mood at the moment. He said, "Right now you still can't remember who I am, but gradually you will remember. The most important thing now is that you have to rest to stay healthy and recover quickly so you can go home." Jack was worried that he would make her emotional and affect her health and the fetus in her belly. So he left the bowl of porridge for her to make herself and went downstairs to eat, leaving Tu Tien alone so she could be comfortable.